I'm Marjorie Punnett.
I'm Elizabeth Reese.
This is The Nest, our minisode that's all about the delightful and delicious things that make our homes just where we want to be. And we're adding to our homes.
We are adding to our homes. The Nest today is very special because it's all about the fabulous piece of art that we want you to get into your homes that will hopefully remind you and those that you live with to bring your best to the nest when you are at home with the ones that you love the most. So we talked with Gina Holiday, the woman behind the wonderful art studio Spoonful of Faith. And we talked with her this week about the collaboration that we did with her. She created this art print that has the words "Best to the Nest" in it. It's like this lovely little whimsical floral wreath. It sort of has like a little bit of like, I love like antique botany books or botany prints,
right. Yeah.
You know, and it sort of has a little bit of that vibe to it, like that sort of drawing out of beautiful leaves. And then there's a cardinal in the little wreath kind of nest looking at the words "Best to the Nest." And Marjorie, we were talking a lot about the bird that we wanted to have in this piece of art. And you were specific about the cardinal, and when we looked into the meaning of the cardinal, we became even more passionate about that being included in this art print.
Right. It's funny when we talk about a collaboration, you were the first one that said, I think I want a bird in it. I think I want a cardinal. And so I think it's really important that when you stick something on anything, you need to know what it is that you're representing. Mm-hmm. And there are some really mean birds out there. Yeah. And I thought it wouldn't have been horrible. Like if we put, like, aren't blue jays like notoriously mean?
I kind of think they are, and they are beautiful. We see them outside of our home, right. And we're kind of nerdy bird watchers at our house. We actually have a book of Minnesota birds that we keep on the coffee table because then we can just like look at birds that you can find in Minnesota.
But you had sort of mentioned a cardinal, and you had mentioned another bird. I'm not sure if it was a blue jay or another one. I'm like, we need to look those up because. So I looked up cardinals, and this is what made it perfect. So I went back to where the site that I had gone to, and it says cardinals represent luck, manifestation, devotion, setting boundaries, loyalty, and domestic harmony.
Oh my gosh!
I don't think it could be more perfect than that. So there's a cardinal on the print that we've created with Gina. But what was also funny, Elizabeth, I was going through some emails last night, and whenever you do a collaboration, and let's be clear, Gina was the artist. We just said, hey, we set some general boundaries, and then the vision is very much Gina's. But at one point, the first sketch that she had sent us, the bird was looking out.
Yeah. And
I wrote back, I don't know why I felt it so strongly. I felt very strongly that the bird should be looking like through the nest, not completely out of the nest. This is, for anybody who's ever worked with me as a producer, I'm very much into the details. So I said to Gina, I think the bird should be looking through the nest, not standing on the edge of the nest looking out. So Gina was very sweet about it. So last night I'm going through some emails, and I came across an email that you had written that said, and I never saw this till last night, that said, I love that the bird is looking out. Oh, there's a great collab. Just didn't even look at Elizabeth's emails. So you are so gracious that I think at some point you must have been like, I don't care. Wherever the bird's going to look, the bird's going to look. But
no, I think I liked that idea, though, because you did explain it of having the bird looking in. And I thought there is something really sweet about the bird looking in towards the words and in towards the nest idea is wonderful because our focus is really inside. The focus is inside your nest, and then that focus and creating the environment that you want inside your home is what allows you to have what you want on the outside of the home. And we talk about this a lot because even at the very beginning of the podcast, thinking back to those moments for me of if things are unsettled at home, it's very difficult for me to overcome that in order to achieve what I want to achieve outside. If things are unsettled outside, it's easier for me to keep things on track at home. And which shows that the home is the most important part and the most important piece. So I loved it, and I love how it turned out. And it really was a true collaboration because there were things that we thought would be really special and things that we liked about it. Gina sent us different options. But of course, Gina is the artist and she's the expert. And so we certainly left it up to her. So we want to just give you a couple more details on this print. And then we really hope that you order them. They're available on spoonfuloffaith.com. So that's Gina's website. So you are supporting her. You're actually supporting 3 woman-owned businesses through this purchase. And then you're also supporting Emerge Mothers Academy, which is a local organization in Minneapolis that works to really elevate the lives of single moms through multi-service options. So there's education, there's financial literacy, there's support, there's all these different things. And we are going to be talking with the founder of Emerge Mothers Academy on Best to the Nest next week, Marjorie. So that will come out and you'll get to hear our conversation with her, which I'm just so excited about that because I also think as much as we talk about the home, a lot of what we talk about in terms of the home is based on our own experience, which is not a single parent experience. And I've often felt like uncomfortable with leaving that aspect out of our conversations. And so having Becca on the podcast is going to be something that I think will be important for all of us and really include families that we can't really personally speak to because that's not our life experience.
And I think I love this so much because I think you'll start experiencing this, Elizabeth, as you raise your children. Single moms get left out of a lot.
Yeah.
So when you think about how you socialize, Elizabeth, with your kids, you probably often socialize with couples. And so I think it's really important. And I feel that way too, that sometimes that gets left out of the conversation because it isn't our experience. I have known a couple of great single moms that sort of crossed my path when I was raising my own children. And what I learned from them, what's really interesting is how differently they feel the responsibility of raising their children.
Yeah.
First of all, there's no buffer. So if they're having a tough day, most of the time there isn't like a spouse where they can say, hey, could you watch the kids, or a partner, could you watch the kids for an hour? I just have to get away.
Right.
It's all on them. There's the single mothers that do it well, it's really, really, really hard on them. And they sort of have surrendered their life to the idea that they have to make this work. And I think that's when I think about Emerge Mothers Academy, that's, I think, the role that a place like that can fill for a single mother, which is just one more resource, one more person or one more organization in their village that can help them get through that awesome responsibility that they must feel every day. I mean, obviously being a mother is a huge responsibility, but I always felt like I had a partner in that.
Right.
And so, and that eases that sense of responsibility quite a bit. So I'm really excited about that collaboration as well.
Me too. So 10% of the proceeds of every print will go towards Emerge Mothers Academy. And we're going to donate some prints to them as well. They've got a big fundraiser coming up on October 5th. So there'll be some prizes that will be the prints. So we have some fun things coming up with them, which we're really excited about. So the prints come in 2 sizes. You can get them in an 8x10 and an 11x14. And you'll see on social media, if you follow me at Eliz Reese, if you follow Marjorie at It's Me Marjorie 1, the number 1, and then Gina Spoonful of Faith, and then also Best to the Nest, we're going to post some photos of the artwork. And then you can also see how, we're going to do some different framing options and things like that too, which will be really fun to be able to see. But the 8x10 is going to be $20 plus shipping. And then the 11x14 will be $30 plus shipping. So super affordable, like really affordable to get amazing created art by Gina, which I am just I'm excited about. I can't wait. I'm going to have them all over my house. I might have like 10. I might have a Best in the Nest wall. Who knows what's going to happen around here?
You'll have one in every room to remind you, bring your best to the nest.
I know, constantly.
This is also an important nest because we have another important announcement. Do you want to make it?
Sure. This is our last episode of The Nest.
Yes,
it's not our last episode of Best to the Nest. It's just our last episode of The Nest. So, we've done these little mini-sodes where we kind of talk about things that we like or products or recipes and things like that. And what we've decided to do is to streamline our efforts a little bit more into 1 episode per week. So Best to the Nest will continue to come out on Tuesdays. And when we talk about things that we're loving, we're going to integrate those into our main episodes. Yeah. And this is mainly just because we think that we want to keep spending time with you and we want to continue this for a long time. And I think this is a nice way to kind of streamline our mission and our conversations, and then just make it a little bit more manageable on us with the rest of the schedules and things that we have going on. So that's
I think, you know what runs through my head all of the time, Elizabeth, is pain point.
Pain point.
What's the pain point? And we do this podcast every week. We've done more than 250 of them. And the nest became a little bit of a pain point.
It's always been like, oh, we got to get this in. We got to fit this in.
We got to fit this in. And I think it's just, I'm just being super honest about that, because I think that's, you're the one that actually makes me think about that all the time. What's the pain point? What can I get rid of? What can I change to just make things a little bit easier and have it make more sense? And you sort of suggested this, and it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. It's a little bit of a pain point. And when we say that, it's just because the logistics are a little hard and all of that. But it does allow us to focus a little bit more on the Tuesday episode, which I love that idea.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's another reminder too. We hope that you, as you're on this journey with us of trying to create our best nest, I mean, I get asked so much, how do you do it all? How do you do all of that?
Yeah.
Like, I look at you and see, how do you do all of that? Well, I don't. I mean, I have to find things that I say no to all the time. Yeah. And I am just constantly prioritizing. I think prioritizing, outsourcing, I mean, those are the two most important things to me to try to figure out. And it's constantly a conversation and a negotiation. I mean, I don't know. I just said to Jay the other day, I was like, all I do is work. When was the last time that I just did something fun for myself?
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of it. And that's not good, guys.
You're a punnet at heart. That's what the punnets do. That's what my son always says to us. You know what we are. We just work. And it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel good that you're saying that.
It's so funny because Jay has no problem taking plenty of time to do things just for fun for him.
You know, but I think at some point you'll have to come to a realization of you enjoy the work. And what you don't,
yeah.
you should get rid of. And I think, the first time, right away, fall is starting. So I'm taking a class. I'm in the middle of it doing like a 6-hour project. And there's a little bit of me that's like, what the hell am I doing? I'm 57 years old. Why am I taking a college class? And then it's like, because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I enjoy working. I enjoy learning. I enjoy being curious. And so I have to get good with, okay, I signed up for this. This was my choice. But I think the other key thing too, when people ask you how do you do all that, and I think the really key thing the key thing that people should keep in mind is, who are you doing it with? Mm-hmm. And it's so important to remember, like, who are you choosing to date? Who are you choosing to marry? Who are you choosing to work with? And then you and I, this never would have lasted this long if we didn't choose to do this together because we work well together. And I think that's really, at every point in your life, in every decision, really think about who you surround yourself with, because that allows you to do so much more. My videographer used to call it plussing, because I had this great team for a while when I was working at Arizona PBS. And I would always thank them because I was like, you guys make this so much fun. And my videographer said, it's just we all plus each other. You bring this, he brings that, he brings this. And together we just make the best thing we can possibly make because we plus each other. And I loved that idea. So just always in your life, you can think about the pain points, but also think about the little teams that you create around you. If they don't make you feel good, change it.
Change it. As much as you can. Some people you're stuck with. Some people you are.
Well, don't talk to them.
Contractually, whatever. Do your best. Well, we're really happy to be here, and we're happy to continue this next evolution. It just feels really exciting. I think this collaboration with Gina feels really great. It feels like we're taking this even beyond the podcast. Mm-hmm. So we just hope you know that even as we ease back to 1 episode per week versus 2, that our commitment here is so strong, and that we just really see kind of infinite possibilities with these conversations. And we appreciate you being with us, even and maybe especially when you disagree with us. And I know some of you have disagreed with me lately. And if you do, that is okay. And we're all about having the conversation here. It's about, we're not trying to be that we figured this all out. It's a journey. And it's a conversation, and it's looking for different viewpoints and looking for ways to broaden our horizons, and always encouraging every woman to have an opinion. You always get to have a voice. We want your voice. You have a voice. And I just want to encourage all of us as part of this community that even when we disagree with one another, to still encourage each other to have an opinion and to know that their voice matters, because disagreeing and silencing are two totally different things. And that is all I want to say about that.
Well, I would say, and please always look for, especially we're going to be coming back into an election season, the midterm elections, and then another presidential election. As women, I think we can find the middle way. Mm-hmm. What are we modeling for our children and how we feel about our communities, what we owe our communities, and what we owe each other and how we speak to one another. You can model that. You can model that at your school board. You can model that on your block. You can model that at your church. Look for the middle way to talk about things. Look for the common ground that benefits not just your family, but your neighborhood, your city, and your country. I feel like we really need to understand that we have to be able to have those conversations.
Yeah,
or nothing's going to get fixed.
Yeah.
Real quickly, because we're ending the nest, it is a good time to shout out to our producer, Hope, who we rarely, if ever, talk about. But Hope, thank you.
We love you.
We don't say it enough. Thank you.
You're amazing. Yeah. Hope takes out all of the uhs and the bleh and all the times that I say, honest to God, why do I say so much?
Everybody's got them, Elizabeth.
It's the Minnesotan in me. It must be.
You know what it is? It's the those kind of crutches are just, you're taking a moment to gather your thoughts. That's all it is. That's all it is.
I should think before I speak more often. Hey, if you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and write us a review at Apple Podcasts.
Find us on Facebook and Instagram at Best of the Nest, or go to bestofthenest.com to subscribe to our newsletter. We are the podcast that brings you home.
Do you and your family love Mickey Mouse? Do you and your family love Minnie Mouse? Do you and your family love to have fun? If you answered yes, then you're gonna love Disney Junior's new series, Mickey Mouse Funhouse. Mickey Mouse Funhouse is a fantastical place where anything can happen. Funny is a magical playhouse who takes Mickey, Minnie, and their pals on adventures to anywhere. Join Funny, Mickey, Minnie, and pals for all new adventures and watch the new series on Disney Junior.
For all the night owls, late-nighters, and sleepyheads out there, there's a solve for your morning blues. A delicious and savory breakfast from Mickey D's. Because if you can't be a morning person, at least you can even the odds.
Nothing gets you going like a classic sausage McMuffin with egg. Now get 2 for just $4.50. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.